I am in Dagestan alone, with one goal in mind, to show you what it is actually like to come to Dagestan and train there. Today I'm taking you with me to show you what it is like to have a Dagestani training camp like Khabib or Makhachev. We are going to be having two very intense training sessions, one MMA and one wrestling. So get ready for 7 days in Dagestan. Alright, we have an exciting day today. We're gonna start off with some wrestling. I do feel sore. It is what it is. I don't really can do anything about it. I'm definitely gonna eat something small before training today. Yesterday my first meal was around 1 or 2 I think in the afternoon. But I've come prepared today. The goal for today was quite simple. Finish both trainings. And got myself another coffee to start the day. I was once again feeling quite nervous and this time I was going to the training alone. The morning training started at 10, so we got ready onto the mat and started with the warming up. The warming up was always quite similar, a lot of running, a lot of exercises and a lot of shoulder rolls. Then we did some mobility, make the body ready, and then we were ready for training. However, I was alone, so that was a little bit unfortunate, but lucky for me that did give me the chance to also have a quick look and make sure that I could film. Usually I'm always training, so now I had the time to film some exercises. Here they were doing some fun exercises where you have to be really quickly, and then somebody else arrived and I could join the training. We did some finishing moves today. You get your opponent down and then you have to make sure that you can pin them. For me this was all very new. In MMA and in grappling of course we don't have this. It's very wrestling specific. But before we continue, 90% of you guys have not subscribed to me yet. I'm trying to hit 100k subscribers, so if you can like and subscribe you will help me out so much. Can we get 3000 likes on this video? And then we immediately started with sparring. This was their last day before heading out for competition, so there's going to be a lot of sparring today. You see them coming in for a double leg, he gets it quite easily. Then I try and go for the double leg, he sprawls out of it and then moves around. I was shooting quite a lot today, I was trying my best, I really wanted to prove myself after yesterday's training. Of course they were all still very much better than me. Here I shoot from very far away and then he had no difficulty moving me around. Then again he shoots in, I was a little bit too late for that sprawl, I could have done a lot better over there. Then once again try and shoot in, but that was more out of desperation. And then he tries the pinning move that we tried before, but I could stop it this time. Here you see me trying to sprawl, doing a little bit better than before, but then even though I tried to flip in wrestling, that doesn't really work. So that was the end of that round, and then we're gonna do one more, again against the same person. He shoots in, very beautiful takedown, and that round I couldn't do a lot more. That was training number 1 complete, 1.5 hours done. Really tough training again, but I feel I did a little bit better than the last time.
2-3 years Dagestan and forget. 2-3 years? Man. So now we know they don't know the meme here. 2-3 years Dagestan and forget.
I decided to hang around after training. Of course we don't speak the same language, so it was really hard to talk to each other. But for that we had Google Translate and that managed to work pretty well.
Tylko nie zapuszczajcie do nas. Wow.
Football, you watch?
Yeah. Ajax. Ajax. Amsterdam. Yeah, Amsterdam.
You bet orange.
They wanted to know why I was in Dagestan. I got that question quite often over there. They don't get foreigners that don't speak Russian often, so when you come there and you try and highlight the culture, they would really appreciate that.
Years old.
Huh?
Years.
Years old? How many? 18. No? 17. Really? He's 17 years old. This is like the Nigerian passport you think. You have to say 2-3 years Dagestan and forget. 2-3 years
2-3 years
Dagestan
Dagestan
and forget.
Yes.
And with that another wrestling practice was done. Because they left for competition the next day, this ended up being the last time I trained there as well. But I had a really good time. Really nice guys. Had a really good time. Talked for like more than 20 minutes. I felt kind of nervous this morning about everything. I don't know, every time we do something I kind of still have a little bit of nerves. It is before the afternoon. I've already trained and then tonight we're gonna have a second training session. And so it was time to head home. And that was only a 10-minute walk. Hygiene is of course very important. Staph infection, ringworm, very common unfortunately in gyms. So far everything has seemed very clean, very good. After every training, twice a day, I take a full body shower, everything, just to make sure that I don't have any problems. Just did that, relaxed a little bit, charged up, and now I'm heading to the city.
Whatever they say about Dagestan, about it's unsafe or whatever, I can just be here alone, film myself, everything, no problem. I found a different place today and got myself some food, a hamburger. I think I deserve a hamburger after all my hard training.
I'm ready to head to the gym. Once again, I'm feeling nervous. I haven't been to this gym yet. We're gonna do MMA, which I haven't done here yet as well. So the nerves are starting to kick in. I had the same this morning and then it went really well. Murat picked me up and then we headed towards the gym. It turned out that the gym was about a 2-minute walk away from the apartment. That was one of the good things about the apartment I was staying at. It was so centrally located, everything was close. Every gym we went to was about 10-15 minutes maximum. There was a lot of food places, coffee places, everything that you need, supermarkets, everything was really closely located. We started with the warming up. Most gyms in Dagestan I felt like had the same warming up, which is not crazy that you do the same type of warming up. I just felt like they took it very seriously. A lot of gyms kind of skip over warming up, but here in Dagestan, warming up was something very serious. Then it was time to start with the first exercise. I thought we were going to finally do some striking, but no, of course the first hour was purely going to be wrestling training again. It is Dagestan after all. Murat was the one giving the beginning of the training today. I don't think he usually does that, but because he was here today, he did give it for this training, which for me was good because I could get some extra attention. Every place I went to, I kind of got a lot of attention and a lot of extra work. Like I said, they don't get foreigners a lot. So when you come in, especially maybe with a camera, but you come in and you come and train there, they really wanted to help me. Everybody was extremely nice. So here we see me doing the training, helping me inside takedown, and then one more time, getting it this time a little bit better. Then we continued with the next exercise, a judo throw. That's a technique I really like. I'm not sure why, but for today it didn't really work. I tried it a couple of times, but I wasn't really smooth with it. Here you see it doing it again, not the best takedown. And then after that we had done wrestling and then it was time for some MMA sparring. We only did 1 or 2 rounds. Here you see me coming up against, I think it was one of their fighters. I wasn't sure, I can't really ask them or really speak to them, but it seemed like he was one of their fighters, so we did some sparring. This was my first time sparring in 3 months. I really had to warm up again, I really have to feel the punches coming. When you don't spar for that long, your reaction becomes a little bit slower to the punches, but I think I did pretty well. And then I thought the training was done, but in Dagestan, training is never done. We had to finish off the training, first with some exercises. For me, this was not very good for my injury, so I tried to do it a little bit slowly, making sure I could at least finish the training, but it was kind of acting up again. Then we were doing the plank. It was a mixture of 3 exercises. You did it for a certain amount of time, back to back to back, then you had a quick break, and then we had to do it again. I think it went on for almost 10 minutes. You see the coach stepping in because I was stopping here and there because of the pain. Of course, he didn't know I was injured, that's not his fault, but he had to step in a little bit, which I understand. You see him pushing me a little bit harder again, making sure I get the most out of this training. Then I thought it was finally done. No, we had to stand up, more punches, more moving around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then I thought it was finally done, but no, I had to put my gloves back on and it was time for some pad work. Of course, this was really nice, they didn't have to do this, so I was really grateful for that. But at this point I was so tired, I could barely keep my hands up. My punches here are in slow motion. I don't know what was going on, I think it looks decent, but this is not how I usually strike. I was so tired at this point, but I really wanted to continue, make sure I get the most out of this. You see me doing some blocking, some defense, moving around, and then he shot in for a takedown. Somebody decided to step in front of the camera as well. He ended up getting the takedown, and that was the end of the training for me. I was really dead at this point. I couldn't move, I had to lay down a little bit and relax. But with that, training number 2 was done. After training they sat me down and they gave me some tea, which was really nice. Every place I went to, everybody was so nice, everybody was really welcoming. They always would give me tea or something else, they would talk about stuff. Of course we couldn't really communicate, so it was usually through Google Translate. But Dagestan is extremely welcoming, every place you go to it's insane. I was being fed with tea, with snacks, with sugar. I don't know what I was getting, but whatever they were giving me, I was not gonna say no, so I was just taking everything I could.
That's pretty good after training. A bunch of sweets, this is really good.
Man, this was really tiring. I was like, what have I gotten myself into? Like,
I almost puked. Pushed through, finished the training.
And with that, training number 2 was done. I have done 4 hours of wrestling the last 2 days and 1 hour of MMA. I feel my injury acting up. We're gonna have a special training tomorrow because we're gonna go someplace that we haven't been yet. We also have a couple more things on the checklist to do. In tomorrow's episode, I'm gonna show you more of the city of Dagestan. I'm gonna give you a quick tour, and then after that we are training at one of the most elite gyms in Dagestan. See you guys tomorrow. Oos.